It's not that I don't want to pay tax. It's that, first of all, when you're a crypto trader in Canada, you have to report every single trade. Well, you're meant to anyways. A lot of people don't. So the thing is, when you report every single trade, it kind of takes away from your trading because you're like, okay, now that I've done the work, I have to go in a spreadsheet and write it all down. But now there's also apps. The apps make it a lot easier because you could just connect to your accounts and then it gets all the prices of what it was. It's just easier to do as you go, to put it in a spreadsheet as you go. So it's like, okay, I entered this, I'm going to put it in the spreadsheet. I exited this, I'm going to put it in the spreadsheet. A lot easier to do it that way than to go around and start to implement it into your spreadsheet later. Because then you're like, okay, now I have to go into the history. What was Bitcoin in the history? How much was it worth before? So that's the whole thing. You don't want to keep doing that. You want to actually just do it as you go. Then you don't have to look up the history. It's actually faster. Just like when you're cooking, if you clean as you go, it's faster. So if you're making a cake and then you put the cake in the oven, well, just start cleaning up. Just start cleaning up the counter, putting the things in the dishwasher, putting everything away. It's just easier this way. I mean, I haven't baked a cake in a long time and I probably won't. I'm not that into baking, but you know what I mean. I mean, if you do it as you go, it's faster than waiting later and coming back and all of the plates are dirty and all of the plates need to soak in the water because they literally need to soak in water. I mean, you let it sit there and get crusty and now you have to go back and soak it before you can clean it. Whereas if you just did it as you go, it would be clean. Just like recording your trades in a spreadsheet, you know the price of the crypto right now. So let's say it's Bitcoin. And then you could say, okay, well, Bitcoin was $111,000 when I entered. So you could put that in. Whereas if you do it later, you have to go back and say like, okay, I entered 0.0 Bitcoin, but then how much was Bitcoin worth? And you have to go through the history. And it just takes so long, okay? Even with the apps are great, but even with the apps, they still sometimes don't put the cost basis, which means they don't put what the crypto that you've traded was at the time. Okay, so that's one thing. Secondly, it's just easier to give a bottom line. Like, so when I had my company in Malta, all I had to do was put like how much I made or lost that year, bottom line. I didn't have to go through every single trade and do it, okay? And then there's Dubai, which, is amazing for this no tax thing. They don't tax their residents. I know that now on business, there is some tax, but you have to make multiple hundreds of $1,000s that are tax-free before even any tax. So really, it's nothing. It's still one of the best, in my opinion. Portugal, maybe it used to be good, but it's definitely not good anymore because they still charge tax on crypto. So no, thank you. I don't want that. And then you still have Panama, you have Costa Rica, you have different countries where you could go and do this, like Uruguay, Paraguay. There are a lot of countries that you could set up for yourself, somewhere where you don't have to do that. But of course, there are rules and you got to follow the rules. I would highly recommend just get an agent or one of those lawyers that actually know how to do it properly. Because if you don't set it up properly, you might still have to pay the tax. So honestly, just get an agent. They set it all up for you. And when you have the money, you're at that point where you can get an agent. So don't mess around with outdated information from some blog or some course that was created like years ago, because every year the tax laws change. Okay. So I still do pay some tax in Canada, but some business tax on a business that I just set up there and I leave it. I still have land in Canada, but it's under a numbered incorporation. So this is what you might not know, okay? If you have a numbered incorporation, what you could actually do is okay, so first of all, don't quote me on any of this. I like to preface this by saying I'm not an accountant, but I'm going to share my research that I wish somebody had told me earlier, okay? So the research that I've made is that, let's say you want to pass down or sell your house. Okay, so first of all, when my friend's mother died, all of them and all of the kids had to pay a 50% inheritance tax. So on the house. So the house, and they had to pay 50% inheritance tax. They could have avoided that if they put their company in a numbered incorporation. I mean, put the house in a numbered incorporation. So the house becomes like a company. But now that the house is a company, then if you pass it down, you could write them in as, shareholders, and don't put yourself as a director, but you could put them as a shareholder. And then also the bylaws of the company decide what happens with that company. And that is worth more than a will. So nobody could contest the will. Okay, so you put it all in a numbered company, which trumps the will. Okay, so the bylaws of the numbered company. And that'll cost you like probably under $3,000. You could get that all done, and then, less headaches. But, people would say, well, why isn't everybody doing this? Well, now it's a company. You have to do the taxes for that company every year, but you could still submit 0 for that. Anyway, that is my research. Don't quote me on any of this. The laws could change later as well. But that is an actual plan that you can do. Secondly, if you want to sell your house right now in Canada, if you want to sell your house, you need a lawyer to be in between. So the lawyer has to do all this stuff, and then you pay them for something you could have really done yourself. Anyways, cryptocurrency, with smart contracts will eventually eliminate this issue as well. No middleman. And we already have some of this going on in some countries, which is great. But in the meantime, if you want, so for example, you could say, okay, so I want to sell my house. So instead of going through the lawyer to do all the stuff you need to do, you just sell the incorporation, which the numbered company. So you just sell the numbered company, which you don't need to have a lawyer to do all this stuff to sell the company. You could just do it. And then the house comes with the incorporation. Again, don't quote me on that, but that is the research that I have done. So there you have it. Some tips for you to save money for your family and also for yourself on lawyer fees. There's ways to get around certain things in Canada. I am talking about Canadians right now. So you could do that. You could set up a numbered company, okay? And then for the saving tax and going to another country, you're still allowed to go to Canada and stay there for 6 months out of the year. That is the rule. Now, don't forget that sometimes the rules, you can't be too close to the rules. So what I mean by that is if you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to come to Canada for 6 months, leave for 6 months. Well, you're pretty much on the cusp. I was recommended to do it less, come to Canada less, maybe even 3 months. Don't go right on the cusp, a day before 6 months, because it's too close. And then they could analyze you and say, oh, okay, maybe you're still a Canadian resident. So don't do that. If you're going to decide to leave, then, you could still come back to visit everybody, but just leave, and then you could do it properly. Plus, most people that are older leave Canada for 6 months at a time, right? You most likely do this anyways. So anyway, for me, I just didn't want to deal with the crypto stuff. If Canada would make it easier for wealthy people to live there, then wealthy people wouldn't be leaving Canada. That is a fact. It's because Canada makes it so hard. Okay, they really do. And they make it so hard for so many reasons. You guys don't even understand the things that wealthy people have to go through in terms of CRA, auditing, everything with your business, everything with your crypto. You have no idea because you just don't hear about it, okay? But I am telling you from someone who was not wealthy, had a regular 9-to-5 jobs, made under $100,000 a year. I used to make under $100,000 a year as a job, as a worker. But then as a wealthy crypto trader, I made a lot more. As a business owner, I made a lot more. So then, the more money you make, then you got lawyer fees on stuff. But, eventually it doesn't matter because it all evens out. And especially if you're in crypto, the bull run's coming. Everything's going to be fine. Everything that you've ever worried about is going to be fine. Everything is going to come back. You're going to be completely okay. If you're in crypto, you're going to be okay. There is nothing to worry about. Your life is fine. A lot of you guys are depressed and stuff over literally nothing. Go outside and play. Get off your phone. If you follow this protocol, this is the ultimate protocol. Get off your phone by 7 p.m. Stop eating by 5 p.m. Okay? And there's so much more that you could do. Drink chamomile tea. Lie down and put your legs up a wall. have an Epsom salt bath. Do some neck stretches. A lot of you guys are on your phone and watching videos. You got to stretch your neck. You got to stretch your back. My friend is 6'5". For his whole life that I've known him, every day without fail, he wakes up and does 15 minutes of stretches and goes to bed and does 15 minutes of stretches. He says because he's so tall and it hurts his back and his neck. So if he doesn't do it, he's going to have pain. So just 15 minutes when you get up, touch your toes, do some friggin' stretches. It's not hard. A lot of you guys are in pain for no reason. And a lot of you guys are depressed when all you needed to do is drink water, exercise. Literally, if you don't know how to exercise, go for a walk. Even go for a walk and hang in a park, just like with your fingers, just hang. Some of you guys can't even hang for 10 seconds. Just do something. You don't have to go to the gym and do this big protocol. Like just walking. Actually, in Portugal, I went to different festivals. I was walking like 26,000 steps a day without even trying. Just going to different festivals, going in the streets, walking up the hill, literally walking. Everybody in Europe walks. Okay. So seriously, walking is the best. So, I mean, when I was in Caparica, okay? Caparica in Portugal. So you could still visit Portugal, even in Dubai. I only have to be there one day a year. Like that's the rule. Like such good rules. They really want all the wealthy people to come, which is why that country is booming in terms of real estate. So yeah, back to what I was saying, which was, taxes. So personally, I love the setup there. Some things be better? Yes, of course. Pretty much all banks in general, all over the world can be better, but we deal with the dinosaur feeling of banks. Like in Canada, the banks are dinosaurs. I am sorry if you love or work for the bank, but they are dinosaurs. Like seriously, speed up. Like 3 days to send a wire from Canada to Australia? Like, are you kidding me? 3 days? I'm just going to send some crypto and it's going to be there instantly. Like, seriously, get your shit together. I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like we're progressing faster than some, companies and these systems that we've been in for so long. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but there are some things you could do to protect yourself, to stop leaving money on the table, to just do more with your money. And part of that is crypto trading. Because if you're going to be crypto investing and you're just going to buy Bitcoin and hold for 10 years, cool, that's fine. But if you're going to start making money from it, like earning more Bitcoins by trading, okay, making money on the way down in crashes. When there are crashes, you could be making money. Did you know that? When it's a sideways market and nothing's happening, on just holding, you're not going to ever make any money. And trading only on spot, like regular trading without leverage, you're not going to make much money because if the market's moving 1 to 5% a day, you're not making anything, okay, on spot. So you got to use leverage to control more money. So if you're trading with $1,000 on 10x, it's like you're trading with $10,000. So that's what you do in a sideways market. Okay, so you got to learn this stuff to apply it and then make more money. So stop leaving money on the table. This is what we teach. This is what we have for you. Okay, so enjoy your life, because once you have money, you're going to enjoy your life so much more because you eliminate like 99% of problems. You're not going to have any like major issues because all the major issues could just be solved with money. Okay. You could pay people to do things for you. All right. And that is the best thing ever. You don't have to do everything yourself. Okay. Cool. So love you. Thank you so much for watching this. And I will speak to you real soon. Bye.